There's no shortage of things to do in Toronto for those looking to celebrate 2026. It is just around the corner, including a stand-up comedy show featuring some of Canada's best comedians. The show at Yuck Yucks on Richmond Street kicks off at 10 p.m., wraps up with the countdown on stage. And joining me now to tell us more about all of this, Toronto-based comedian and actor Kyle Lucey, the headliner for the big night. Welcome aboard. Happy early New Year to you.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. This is really cool.
Absolutely.
Lovely to meet you.
So tell me about kind of what's bringing you here today. You travel all over the place. You kind of get some observations throughout the country.
Yeah, stand-up does kind of make you travel around a lot. No matter how well you do on stage, even if you kill it, they're not going to book you again right away. So if you want to make a living, you got to move on to the next city. And it just incentivizes a lot of comedians to, live in the suitcase. So the stereotype is, and yeah, traveling around Canada, and I recently started going to Europe as well.
Excellent. Okay, so what are some of your observations? Is every little town the same that you come across?
In a lot of ways, yeah, but you know what? Like, I would say that each one has their own very funny character, I would say. And I'm a very quiet person in real life, which is like being a fly on a wall. It lets other people be crazy around me. So I'm kind of like a grand observer of the insanity of life. And with that, you just see so many colorful characters. And all stand-up really is, and all the videos I do online, I'm just simply reporting back what I kind of see in my life.
With your viral videos, are you ever surprised what kind of hits and what misses?
Honestly, I had no idea that any of this would even work. I kind of just committed to, I'm gonna post 2 times a day.
Yeah.
And nothing really worked for a few months. And I was like late for acting class, and I just kind of scrambled and put a video out. And then I'm on TikTok the other day, or when this was all happening, I see plus 99. I'm like, what's that? I click on it, and one went viral. So I did another one, another town. My first one was about Oshawa, then London, and I just kept doing other towns, and every single one has kind of gone viral. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is just what I do now. I didn't expect it at all, though.
So it's playing to so many different audiences, so many different places. What makes doing a New Year's Eve show unique? It's an emotional night for some people.
No, it definitely is, and it's a different kind of clientele because people, you're not going to get like college kids who are paying $55 a ticket.
Yeah.
It's more people, so it's a different type of crowd. A couple years ago, I did Massey Hall for New Year's Eve, and that was also with Yuck Yucks, and that was like very different from what I'm used to because I do a lot of clubs. That was kind of the biggest show I've ever done, but New Year's Eve is just kind of, I'm going to wear a suit. That's much as my brother got married, so I'm doubling up on my suit. And yeah, it's the same kind of audience, but I would say a little bit nicer. People are willing to spend a little bit more, so you might get people who might be, even a little older because they have the money,
A little classier crowd?
Yeah,
why not? What are your observations of 2025? Is there a big takeaway that you've made?
I wouldn't say specific about 2025, but I do kind of like, I watch a lot of stuff. I watch a lot of people, and I watch a lot of, I find the humor in a lot of people and a lot of situations. A lot of my act is like the challenge of finding something funny in, maybe dark comedy, but it's like the challenge of making something that's not funny. So sometimes, I talk a lot about my life. I kind of come from, a lot of like, I grew up very poor, and, my parents were quite characters. So I kind of talk about the humor in that, and then how everything around the world that I see, maybe it might negatively affect me, some of the bad news, but if I could make it funny, then that's kind of turning something kind of painful into something beautiful, and that's what the challenge I like in the art that I do.
What kind of reaction do you get from people who are like, you know what, my family's just like that, you've really helped me through this? Do you get that sort of reaction?
I do a lot, honestly, and I'm the type of comic where I want to push the boundary, but I don't like offending people. So what I get a lot is when I talk about like all the darker subject matters, something that I get a lot is people come up to me and say, I can't believe I laughed at that. And that to me is the biggest compliment ever, because I want to be accessible to everybody while still, keeping my integrity and still challenging myself. I look at dark comedy, it's like, okay, like someone's juggling, but I'm juggling like flaming bowling pins. So it's someone's ability to kind of wield danger. But in that, if I drop a flaming bowling pin and it lights someone on fire, I can't be like, well, the other guy dropped one. Well, he didn't light them on fire, right? So you know, I do get a lot of like surprise, but people are always happy when they leave the shows.
Any resolutions for the new year?
Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that. I always have challenges for myself. I am going to Europe again. This is kind of like a buffer year because I'm trying to, you know, go to America and stuff like that. I'm working on my green card, but that's maybe a year or two away. Maybe just keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay,
I don't know.
Tell us more about the big show, where we can find you. Are tickets still available?
Tickets are still available. You could find it either on my website, KyleLucey.com, that's Lucey, or even yuckyucks.com, because the show is going to be at Yuck Yucks Toronto. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. All the comics are really funny on the show. You know, I've been working with them for years, and it's a beautiful venue, very legendary venue, and arguably a lot of people say it's one of the best comedy clubs in the country. So yeah, either one of those websites, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's a nice way to end the year too with some laughs.
Honestly, yeah, it is really nice too. Like a lot of comics are lucky to get a New Year's gig, so I was very grateful when Mr. Mark Breslin, who is kind of like the founder of all the Yuck Yucks, he emailed me and said, we're giving you Toronto. I'm like, oh my God, that's insane. So I was very grateful, very, very grateful.
Well, fantastic. Well, have a great show, break a leg. All the best in 2026 to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for being here with us. That is Kyle Lucey talking to us about his big comedy show coming up New Year's Eve. Tickets still available for that. It is 7:21. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. More news straight ahead. Stay with us.